Hello YouTube, this is Igmatronic here again with the C7.5 A6 North American edition. I'm going to show you how to adjust your heated steering wheel function to make it hotter, or if you think it's too hot then you can make it lower. It's no big deal. So you would go under Obdeleven and under the modules you would find module number 16, which is the steering column, adaptation, and under adaptation it's heated steering wheel right there. Hit that. It usually comes at 36 Celsius as standard, I believe 36 or 37, but if you live in a northern country that gets a lot colder and you want it to go through your gloves, you can increase it. The maximum amount you can increase it to is 45 Celsius. I think it's a little too hot, to be honest, and I want to preserve the leather more, so I set it to 40 Celsius. It's more than enough, and after a little bit the steering wheel becomes a little too uncomfortable to hold. So this is just for the winter seasons. I usually never use it any other season. So so if you hit 40, I'll do 41. Oops. Just so it's to show how to do it, and you just hit the check mark. Now the coding is accepted. Cool. Once you turn your heated steering wheel on, it's gonna get up to 41 Celsius or so. I'll just give it some time. It's getting up there, so yeah, let me just pause this for a second and demonstrate. So after a few minutes, it's getting up there. I set it to 45 just to demonstrate that the sensor is actually working. It will hit 45 and then it should cut amperage, or the value down here. Yeah, it's quite toasty. There we go. Hit 45. Now it's reading 46. Soon as that drops back down to 45, it will reapply the amperage, and the steering wheel is definitely uncomfortable to hold for a long period of time. Literally meant for the crazy cold times, you know. So let's move on to another thing. And before I do that, I gotta set this back to 40. It's a reasonable temperature, to be honest. So it will just not give any amperage until it reaches down to 40 Celsius, and then it will just apply more amps. Okay, let's move on. Now I'm just going to show you how to enable your gear selector to show which gear you're in. So you can see there it says D1 and then S1, right? So when you're driving, it'll just show you your gears, and then if you go into manual, it'll say M1, M2, M3, all the way up to 8, because it has /box 8. So here, what you have to do, here's the app that I'm talking about. Hold on. It should say gear selector, display, startup screen, no. Lap timer, no. Gauge sweep, no. Either way, usually it just shows drive and sport, and then reverse and manual, without displaying which gear you're in. There it is, gear indicator. All right. So I'll show you how to do this without actually having to pay. 10 credits is pretty crazy for that. So you go under modules again. This time you go into module number 2, which is transmission, and then under adaptation, oops, wrong. Under adaptation, it says single gear display. Right? So I have mine enabled from factory. Yours would be D off, or yeah, where is it? D off, S off, you know. So you would just select D on, S on, and then just hit check mark. It'll say nothing changed, but actually says it. Code accepted. From there you'll see your gear selector showing which gear you're in, which variant you're in, like sport, drive, or manual. And yeah, that's how you do that one. Let's move on to another one. So on to multiple things, because it's going to be the dashboard modifications. So when it comes to these needles, if you want them on when it's daytime running time, you can turn them off if you'd like. There's also a seatbelt warning, which I left it on. Not advised, but you could also disable that. The needle sweep when the car turns on, you can enable that as well. And then there's the screen that it shows what which car variant you have. Like the startup screen is like, for mine it says Audi A6. You can put S6, R6, but to me personally it doesn't really matter for those. But if you like that extra visual horsepower, I guess you can enable that. So for these mods, we'll go with multiple things. So under modules, you go under dashboard, which is number 17, and then long coding. And under long coding, if you click this little button up here, it's a helper. There we go. So you can scale elimination. If you say off, let's say not active, it would hit the coded. So if you go turn off the lights, oh sorry, wrong one, whoops, not scale, it was needle elimination, whoops, wrong code. So if you turn off your lights, fully blacked out, if I turn those back on, you'll see like that. And then from there, let's see, seatbelt warning, if you set it to not active, it'll turn off your seatbelt warning. Not advised, but if you're the only one that drives the car, sure, do with this information what you will. Let's see, what else was there? Needle sweep, this is the one. Byte number 1, bit number 0, the first one right here. So if you say it'll show not active if you don't have that enabled. If you hit check mark to say activate it, it will sweep the needles every time you turn off and turn on the car. The other thing that you can enable, which is very, very useful, because on these cars you have the fuel tank gauge and then you have the coolant temperature, but you don't really see the what's it called, oil pressure, boost pressure information. So if you enable lap timer, which is right here, so byte number 1, bit number 3 set as active, it will enable a new menu under the vehicle functions on the cluster. So if you hit lap timer, you can see now the oil temperature, the boost pressure. It won't do it while I'm in park, but the boost pressure will start building here. And if you decided to go on to a manual mode, as you can see here, it'll show you a shift light from around 4,500 to 7,000 RPM roughly, and it'll tell you to shift. Other than that, let's see, whoops, tablet flew off. What else can be done here? Let's see. Right, so the display for what the startup screen is, you could choose from here. I believe it was this one, hold on. No, there's so many things in this, it's crazy, I love it. Of course you could change your temperatures from rest of the world to freedom units if you want, and freedom units when it comes to speed, and tire pressure to freedom units like PSI or KPA. I think it was KPA bar, my bad, KPA bar, yep, you could do a lot of those. Let's see, where was the... There we go, startup screen. So from here you could choose whatever you'd like. You could say A6, A7, S6, S7, R6, R7, and you know, so on and so forth. There's multiple variants of it, so do what you will with this info. So let's say I wanted the visual horsepower. Hold on, let me see. Oh, there was a hybrid variants in these, huh? I wonder what would happen if I do a different A6. So the code will change to 8 compared to before. Just gonna see how it looks like. So hit check mark. Okay, code accepted. So now if I turn off the car, oh, the tablet almost. So a different variant of the A6. As you can see, the needle sweeps. Yeah, nifty little things. Sorry if I sound tired and bored. It's because I am. Oh shit.
It's like part of his mission there.
So, yeah, there's multiple things you can do with this. There are multiple things you can do with this. Yeah, do what you will. I was getting a phone call, so I gotta go call back. I hope this information helped. I'll probably do a couple other things for what's it called? A couple other things that I know about this car that can be programmed later on. But anyways, I hope this information helped. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and peace out.